Do. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Michele Molitor here with Wonder Women Unite. I'm very excited. We're here for our July 21st call. And for those of you who are going to be listening in, Wonder Women Unite is an amazing group of women executives, entrepreneurs, and educators from all around the world. We have literally 207 members now from every corner of the planet, so it's super exciting. And my intention for creating this group is to foster rich, bold discussions that collectively help you find your voice, help you step into your confidence, and craft your leadership style that is neither bitchy nor bossy, but powerful beyond measure. So you're respected for the work that you do, the expertise that you bring to the table, so you can earn your worth without apology. So that's why we're here, ladies. So it's all good, right? Because together as women, we can do more, go further, and change the world. So thank you for being here. This is July 21st, and we are excited to be here with you guys today. I'm here excited, and we have a new mascot for the group. We have to wake her up from her nap, but we have a new mascot. Yeah, she doesn't have a name yet because we just found her in my yard yesterday. Oh my goodness, look how cute she is. So we're looking for superhero names for Miss Thing here to be our new mascot for Wonder Women Unite. So anyway, I digress. So today, as I said, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary for Wonder Women Unite. We're up to 207 members, which I'm very, very grateful for and excited for, and am delighted that you all are here. And so I would love for you guys to go around and just share a little bit about who you are, what lights you up about your work, and what's your word for today? Who would like to start? Nida will start. I can feel it.
Oh my gosh. I knew you were going to pick me. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Nida Gabriel, and I am a new member of this group, and I have attended a couple of this session, which Michele has hosted, and I've been just impressed and just grateful to be a part of this team because I get a lot of inspiration just listening to all the other women that are just so motivated about themselves. So I left a position that I was passionate about for about 13 years, and now I'm doing consulting on the side while I'm taking the time to enjoy life. And what motivates me and what inspires me, I think, is just my passion for working with people, working with customers especially. And so the job that I have now allows me to have that connection with customers, helping them with the business issues that they have, and then offer solutions using our software, the software that we provide. So that is exciting, and I will be going to a meeting next month in Australia to present to a user group meeting about what we do and how we can help them solve some of their problems and business issues. And my word for the day is grateful. I'm just grateful that I'm here today, and there's just so much to be thankful for, especially in this interesting times, I would say, interesting times in our country. And I'm just grateful for all the blessings that I've had in my life and being in this position and in this point of my life now where I can just work a little and enjoy life more.
Beautiful.
And that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nina. I appreciate you kicking us off like that.
Thank you.
Jen, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is my second official meeting.
Speak up for us, please, Jen. You sound like you're far away.
Is this better?
Louder.
It's my second official meeting. I work for a local utility and I'm an administrator for the board. I'm trying to find my way to kind of climb the ladder and get to a leadership position, which I'm working towards, and they're very supportive there. So I'm very blessed to have gotten this position. I've been here for almost 3 years now, and I just am taking every opportunity that they offer me to try and learn as much as I can. And my word for the day is energized because it's Friday. I'm ready to go. I'm excited about the weekend. I have plans coming up, and I'm just looking forward to getting everything started.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jen, for being here. It's nice to hear your voice. Monique, are you done with your meeting?
Hi, I am. Thank you for that. And I caught some of the other ladies. It sounds like you're doing a quick, what do you do? What's your word for the day? Did I pick up on that correctly?
Yes, you did. What do you do? Where are you? What inspires you? What's your word for the day?
So I am, hello ladies, I'm from Utah, and what inspires me, I've got tremendous, it's just a part of my core, a passion for really breaking barriers, my own barriers in life, whether they be physical, challenges, and really empowering other people to accomplish what they feel is unbelievable, like their own barriers. Anything from running a mile to getting that, landing that promotion at work, like whatever that is, the barriers. So I love it. And I love seeing them accomplish that. And I have a passion for also really helping people release their self-limiting beliefs. And my third pillar would be like my connection to God. I'm passionate about connecting with Him daily. I do it through biking, through hiking, through running, through quiet meditation, just whatever it is. It's just a real, that piece of steel that connects my mind and my heart together. My word for today is intention.
Intention. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, what's my word for today? My word for today is delight. Because I am delighted to have this new little adorable creature that has literally walked into my life. Yesterday, my neighbor walked up to my front door. I found this in my front yard. And I'm kind of a cat lady, so I foster kittens, and here we are. So it's beautiful, and I'm delighted to be able to be of service here with you all today and to my clients this afternoon, and helping them learn things and have ahas and find greater trust and collaboration in the work that they're doing. So yay. So let's a couple of not logistics, just a couple of points that I want to bring up before we dive into our topic. As I mentioned earlier, our tribe is continuing to grow, which is really exciting. And one of the things that I know that's really important to help support you guys is creating this engagement in various and different ways. So we have the Wonder Woman Lean In Circle site, that thread, that social feed there where you guys can talk with each other and contribute ideas and share information and whatnot. And then we also have the Facebook group, the Wonder Woman Unite ! Facebook group. So if you're not a part of that, please find it and ask to join. It's a closed group. And, bring your ideas and your thoughts and your questions and your celebrations and your wins there so we can continue to support you in between calls. And then the last thing is, we're doing these expert hour calls. So ideally, I like to be doing one per month, which will be on the fourth Friday of every month. And our last one was last month. We had Tammy Cabell from Career Resume Consulting, and she did a whole hour on how to amplify your LinkedIn profile, which was really, really valuable. And if you missed the call, then be sure to, you can find it in the social media feed library on the LinkedIn site, or not the LinkedIn site, the Wonder Woman Lean In site. And I'm also going to post it to the membership page on my website, so you'll be able to find it there too. I was remiss in getting that up there, so my apologies. So if you have a particular expertise that you'd like to share with a group that would be valuable to the rest of the tribe, just email me independently or text me on Facebook, and we can set that up. So it's essentially a way for you to share some of your expertise, and I'll facilitate the call at the beginning and the end, and then you get to fill in all the inside stuff with brilliant knowledge and whatnot. All right? So throwing that out there, so we can hopefully get one of those set up for August, and we'll go from there. And speaking of August, our next call is going to be August 18th. Yes, same bat time, same bat place. So please mark your calendars. It's always going to be the third Friday of the month. I apparently haven't had enough coffee today. The third Friday of every month, same time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 Central, and 5:30 British UK. So today what we're talking about is creating greater connection and trust to help you achieve your goals. And it's July. It's July. How did we get to July? That's the first question, right? It's like whoosh, time's flying by. I think it goes faster as we get older or something. But I wanted to check in with each of you to see how you're doing with the goals that you set for yourself. And we'll be looking at what are ways that you can create greater connection and build trust so that you can achieve your goals even faster, because we can't do anything alone, can we, ladies? It's it's an illusion that we think that we're all by ourselves and we're separate, but we're really not. So when we can tap into that collective consciousness and gather the support of the various resources that we need to do this work we're here to do, then things flow more easily. So I just wanted to go around the room and have you guys each give me an update of what's a goal that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year that you'd like to share, and then how are you coming along with that goal? Who would like to start?
I'll start. I'm going to, one of the goals that I set for myself.
Is that you, Jen? You sound really far away and we can barely hear you. Jen, can you hear us? We cannot hear you.
All right, well, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. There, you're back now.
Maybe closer to your mic.
I am. I'm like hunched down to my mic. It must be my computer.
So far away.
It's a work computer, so.
Oh, okay.
But you guys go ahead.
No, carry on. We can hear you now. For a minute there, you weren't audible at all, but now we can hear you. So go ahead.
I was going to say one of my goals was to register to go back to school, and I actually did that this past week.
Oh, great.
I'll be going back to school and continuing my education with a degree in sociology.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that it will, help me to get a little more motivated to connect with more people and find out you know, exactly what avenue I want to take in my life and what I want to do.
Fantastic. So what's the big, hairy, audacious goal that you want to achieve by the end of 2017?
Oh God. I think that that was probably my biggest goal, to be able to go ahead and do that. Um, I don't really know as far as like my career path where I want to go with that yet. I'm not sure. Like I told you last time, I really have a passion for fitness and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love inspiring people who want to be inspired by that. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want to utilize that. I'm not really certified in it, but I'm very passionate about it and I'm good at it. So I have to figure out if I want to continue with certification in that. I mean, exactly what to do. I don't know yet.
Okay, great. Thank you.
How long is your schooling, Jen? You said you just registered for and you're going to get your psychology. Is this bachelor's, a 4-year program? Is it master's? Associates?
We lost you again, Jen. Are you there?
Can you
Oh.
hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, it's my computer. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, sorry.
This program.
Well, you can always type into the chat box too. If we can't hear you, you can just, if you down at the bottom of your screen in Zoom, you'll see a chat box. You can open that up and then type messages.
Okay, great. It's a master's program. Exciting. Good for you.
Perfect. That's
Exciting.
awesome, Jen. Thank you. All right, who's next?
I'll jump in. It kind of builds on Jen a little bit. So I started the year, I started this program last August and it finished up in May. And it was like they call it a master's, but it's not like the degree of master's that Jen's talking about, but it's in emotional and ego mastery. So it was really exciting to finish that and to be building from that program. My goal for 2017 has really been about now building my business. I've got the coaching business. And what that's been involving is I've been in through another course. I mean, I'm coursed out. Is really identifying like I have such a varied background, and like taking a look at how do I pull all these, aspects of who I am at my core, my passions, everything, and my past experiences. How am I pulling them together to really find out my unique genius, if you will, And so this course has been somewhat revealing. And looking at where we're going from there, we still have a few more modules to go on that, about another month of this course. And that's where I've been at. And really, it's been about building it, even though it's not making, it's not about the money right now, but my focus really has been on what is it taking for me to build it. And I say it ties into Jen a bit because Jen, one of my passions has always been about fitness and nutrition. I am a nutritionist by education, but that's been 30 some odd years ago, and it's been a avocation of mine more than a vocation. And I am a personal trainer, but I'm also a leader. I've been a retired police sergeant. I'm a life coach. So, I've got such a varied background, and similar to you is like, how do you want to bring your stuff together with your passion of fitness and nutrition together? I can identify with that conversation.
Beautiful. Thank you, Monique. We appreciate it. Hi, Susan. Welcome to the call.
Hello, how are you? My name is Susan. This is my first meeting with the Wonder Woman, so I'm very excited to be here. I lived at 3 different countries, China, California, and the U.S., and I'm currently in South America in the country in Ecuador. So I'm very excited to be here to hope to share and learn from all you ladies.
Well, beautiful. We're delighted that you're here. Welcome, welcome. We were just going around and sharing some goals that we've started on this year, and how we're doing with those goals. So why don't I'll have Miss Nida go next, so you can kind of settle in for a minute, and then we'll come to you and I'll ask you a few other questions too. So great. So Miss Nida, what's a goal that you're working on this year, and how are you doing with it?
Okay, so my goal, so I had 2 goals this year at the beginning of the year, and one of those goals was to do something exciting every month. And that was just because I was planning on not working the entire year, but I said maybe towards the end of the year, like the second half of the year, I would do a little bit of work, and that's what I'm doing now, is doing a little bit of consulting, but it's like I'm doing a 20-80. So 20% of the time I'm working, doing a consulting, and then the other 80% of the time I'm just traveling, doing, just either going to places I've not gone before, just do something exciting, like even if it's something just locally. So I have done that every month of this year. So I think I feel pretty good with that goal. And on the consulting side, on the work side, what I said when I joined this small startup company was that I would sign up. I would close at least 1, if not 2, business opportunities to sell our services. And I have done 1 so far. It's not a signed deal, but it's we have a verbal commitment from that customer that they will sign with us before the end of the year. And then with my trip in Australia next month, I should be able to, I've got a couple of things in the pipeline, so I should be able to close another business opportunity, if not 2. So I'm feeling pretty good. But like I said, my personal goal, which was really to do just taking a break and enjoying life. I think I've done a fairly good at achieving that, and pretty happy about it.
Wonderful. Thank you. So Susan, tell us first, so you're in Ecuador. Tell us what you do and what's one thing that lights you up about your work. Let's start there first.
Okay. I am an online English teacher. I used to teach the children, but now I'm currently teaching adults all over the world. And most of my students are in the United States. Quite interesting. And
that is fascinating.
Yes. What I am passionate about my work is I get to meet people all over the world, which is amazing, so I built relationships and bonds, and by learning about each of my students, then I sort of figured out what they're passionate about, what they enjoyed, and I apply my lessons based on that to help them. Not just with the English, but as a coach to give them some suggestions. I have over 15 years of experience in the business world, mainly in California, some in Chicago. So different industries, but all in the business industry. So it's helpful for me to learn about other people. And so what I like about that is by teaching them, I'm also learning at the same time. So when people always ask, why do I also volunteer at the local private schools here to teach them English. And so they say, well, why do you volunteer? I said, it's like work. I enjoy my work as well as volunteer. I just get paid for working, and volunteering is the same thing for me. The joy of seeing someone get the aha moment and the idea that they receive, that makes me feel good. And so I share in their accomplishments, in their joy. So that's what makes me tick. And it keeps me going every day. And I'm always challenged with learning about their problems and their issues and trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? I have to learn it myself. I can't teach something that I don't know. Of course, there are things that are too technical. I can't do that, but just, try to help them focus on getting their fluency and the grammar. So, but other than that, I love life. I love traveling. I love to eat. So living in Ecuador has been amazing for me. It used to be that I work and I would go on vacation for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I always have a vacation withdrawal, and it just didn't really satisfy me. And so my family and my husband and 2 kids decided just to go somewhere and immerse in the culture, and I met great people. The culture is different, the language, everything is different. And I feel like, learning and being a child again, sort of reborn in a way, and that sort of makes me enjoy life. And so I'm living the dream that I want. And it's amazing. I get to teach online to make enough to pay for, my adventure, and be part of a community that's really accepting, and my family's thriving. So I'm very happy.
Oh, wow.
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 What a beautiful story.
Congratulations.
Goosebumps please, all over. Like,
Yes.
yay for living the dream. Whoop, whoop. So what's one goal that you set forth this year to achieve, and how are you doing with that? Because we're kind of at a mid-year point. We're checking in.
Yes, it's my goal is always changing, and actually in the beginning of the year I wrote 4 things I wanted to do, and I'm not doing any of them. It's terrible. My son is learning the guitar, and I always feel like to be able to relate and everything. I said, okay, might as well. I should try learning the guitar. It didn't work. Both of us got lazy. That never happened. I wanted to learn and improve my Spanish. It's been stagnant. I talk to people that I meet in the streets and I have conversations, but it hasn't, grammar-wise, vocabulary and all of that, my fluency has not really, it hasn't really improved, to the point that I want it to be. So that's something I need to keep up. I am Chinese, and I would like my children to be trilingual, Spanish, English, and Chinese. So that's something that I would like to improve as well. So I could, I believe anything that you do in life, to do it well, you have to practice. And the only way for my children and I to really improve is to practice. And so I have to learn as well. And the 4th one was to be healthy and to be the better me. And whatever that means, that entails everything. From improving my memory, learning something new, eating healthy, and going to the gym. I started going to the gym across the street from my house. I have no excuse to be lazy. So I started in July, and I have been. So I make a point to just get out there, just at least be in the treadmill. And I am getting older, so my muscles shrinking, and I notice my body just doesn't function or work the same that I expect it to be. So it's mind and body, agreements, and I'm working on that.
Beautiful.
So, but currently, I think knowing that goal that was in the beginning of the year, that hasn't really sort of come into play in my life. The goal that I have right now, it was really from my students. I'm more of an extrovert, as you can tell. I really talk, and I'm not very shy. I have noticed a lot of my students are introverts, and having 2 children, one extrovert, one introvert, I was trying to have the introverts in my life to be more like me, to try to see things in my perspective and my suggestions and my ideas. And I realized their paradigm of life is so different than mine. and their personality, their thought process, you know, and how they sort of experience life and how they process everything that they learn is quite different. So my new goal is to be sensitive and aware of other people's needs, wants, and experience, and that my way is not always the best way, and that I should see things in their perspective to try to give them a suggestion that may or may not work for them, but to be considerate. Yes, so that's my new goal.
That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, you know, it's such an important thing to remember, because we all have different learning modes and
Yes.
understanding modes and ways of processing information. One of the tools that I use with my clients is called Talent Dynamics, and it's Myers-Briggs, DISC, Strength Finder. They're all wonderful. I've just settled on this one. I find it to be really easy to understand and easy to use, and it has colors, because I like colors, right? Because I'm a very visual person, right? So, but yeah, that's been one of the wonderful things about learning how to utilize it, is really understanding and respecting, like, oh, okay, there's introverts and extroverts, there's sensory, there's kinesthetic, there's all these different ways, and only until you can understand the full gamut can you do a better job of really putting yourself in someone else's shoes and trying to listen from that perspective. So I applaud you. That's really wonderful.
Thank you.
So, and so I'm going to share, because I'm kind of excited. One of the two of the goals that I set out this year to do, the first one was to get back in shape, because I've been on hiatus from the gym. And so I literally, like 2 weeks ago, woke up. You'll laugh at me, Monique. I'm like, okay, I have to hire a trainer. That's the only way this is going to happen. So I've hired a new trainer, and on my fourth workout this week, whoop, whoop, I'm a little sore. But yeah, it's I'm on a mission now, so that's really good. I'm super excited. Thank you, Jen. And so that will continue. And then the other big goal that I had was to get certified as a hypnotherapist. And I'm like 6 certification questions away from having it finalized and checking the box. So I've been working with people all over the world. I do it via Zoom, just like this, which works really well. And I'm having some really terrific results. So I'm incorporating that into my coaching practice, and am thrilled to do it, and delighted to be able to help people have these kind of massive ahas in a really short period of time, because that was always my challenge. Like, how do I get out of my own way? How do I remove that blind spot? And this has been a way for me to do that for myself and to help others. So, yay! So, well, cool. So, thank you, ladies, for sharing that. Those are all really wonderful goals and you know, things to strive for. And it's that continual learning process, right? I think we're all learning junkies to a degree. Can I have another course, please? Yes, thank you. Whatever that might be. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you all today that I Lean In provides actually essentially a curriculum for us to utilize, some of which I take and work with, and other parts I shift and motivate and mold depending on my mood and what's coming up on that particular month. But this month it was really poignant, and I thought it would be great to kind of walk you guys through it. And some of this I can post up into the group, so you can have some of these kind of worksheets to work on with yourself. But one of the things to help you achieve your goals is by creating greater rapport and connection with other people, because we can't do anything alone. You know, we need assistance in various different ways. So they've looked at 4 different areas, ways of building connection, and using this as a way to kind of check in with yourself, like, how am I doing in these 4 particular areas? So the first one is reliability. And they define it as delivering what you promised, right? People want to know that you do what you say and say what you do, kind of thing. The second one is congruence. Are your words and your action aligned? Is there that energetic alignment? And is that authentic you coming through really clearly in what you're doing and how you're doing? And it took me years to learn this. Even when I thought I was being authentic, there was things that were just slightly off, and it took me a while to figure out what was off. I was like, oh, I'm still hiding out here. I'm still trying to have this be what I think it should be versus I just know it should be, right? So creating that congruence within yourself so that you can create that really open, honest, trusting rapport with people. The third one is openness. And this is about, allowing your vulnerability to show, not in a way that's going to have people be able to, attack you. It's not that at all, but it's one thing that I've heard time and time and time again from my coaches and trainers that I've had throughout the years, is that when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, it invites other people to do the same. It creates that safe space. So everyone can put down their shields and their armor and just be with each other versus, behind all these different facades of looking good and trying to get it right and so on and so forth. So that's, openness is really about setting those clear expectations and being honest about your own strengths and abilities and limitations, and being compassionate with others about theirs, which leads to the fourth one, which is acceptance. Being able to suspend your own critical inner voice towards yourself or towards others is important, so that, again, that other person can feel safe. Because if you're always judging people, even if it's just in your mind, there's that energy to it that lands over there for other people. I love my family dearly, and there's a lot of judgment that goes on there, right? As I get ready to go home from my dad's 80th birthday party, should be interesting. I'm so excited. And so I'm particularly aware of when people are in that judging energy, and I'm very sensitive to it. And so I've learned how to not take it as personally, because oftentimes it's them judging themselves and then, putting it on to you so they don't feel bad about themselves. So I get it intellectually, right? I get it from a psychological perspective, and I know how to, deal with all that. But then when it's people who are close to you, it's still like, still winces a little,
It hurts. Mm-hmm.
It does. So, what I wanted to do was, I'm gonna do a screen share with this little assessment, and let's make sure I have it up on my screen. I do. And then I want each of you to just take a moment and just on a piece of paper, just kind of rate yourself, right? As to how you're doing in each of these 4 areas. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, great. There we go. So just take a moment to go through it and rate yourself on reliability, congruence, openness, and acceptance. I'll make it bigger too, even. if necessary.
Michelle, I have a question on this. So
Yeah.
are we rating ourselves on how we do this, or how this applies to us in our professional career life, or is it for your family or for your...
That's a great question.
I'm not
Actually,
sure.
all three: one for work, one for home, and one for self. I was just getting to that. So on a
Okay.
scale of 1
Wow.
to 7, where 7 is high, I do this really well, 1 is not so good. How would you say how reliable are you at work? How reliable are you at home? How reliable are you with yourself? Right? Just make some notes there for a second. So if you guys have, you ladies, when you're finished, just type in the chat box or raise your hand, or, some of you are on mute and some of you are off camera. So Susan's done. Where is... Okay, funny thing is I can't see my chat box now. So I'm going to stop the share. There we go. All right. So who would like to share, and you don't have to if you don't want to, who would like to share how you scored yourself in these different arenas? Susan.
I'll go first, since I have 15 minutes only and I have another meeting.
Okay, yeah.
So reliability for work, I have a 4, home a 6, and self 4. Mainly, I think with reliability, with work, I do my work, but when it comes to paperwork, I procrastinate, and that's something that I have to work with, and I know that. Congruence with work, a 6, home 5, and a self a 5. So there's, for me, some improvements I could do at home. Openness, I think I'm a very open person. Good or bad, I say it. And unless, it's a person who don't need to know, or if it's not important to them, or it's irrelevant to our relationship, either with work or I am open with my students and with my colleagues. So in terms of my personal life, my professional life, if there's something that they want to know, I'm happy to talk about it. And we all have families, work and past, some that we're happy and proud of, but some that we feel like, well, gee, that could have been redone. But I'm not ashamed of it, and it is life, so that's not a problem. Acceptance, With work, a 6, home a 5, and self between a 5 and a 6. Acceptance is something that is, like you have mentioned, you know, you know who you are and what you want in life. You know, the people that are closest to you, your family, your best friends, might not accept your decisions. Like in my case, everything was perfectly fine with living in the United States. When my husband and I decided, oh, we want to leave the country with our children, they say, well, gee, Ecuador, is that in Africa? You know, isn't that where there's like a lot of terrorism, a lot of drugs? And so, like you said, it's the fear that they have from themselves that's projecting onto you. Mm-hmm. And so it was probably the hardest thing to basically accept, you know, that they don't support or accept your decisions in life. And I've come to learn to accept that. After 4 years, when they are disagreeing or upset, and I said, thank you for sharing your opinions. Okay, but this is my decisions in life. Yeah. So mm-hmm.
I applaud you. I applaud you, because family are it can be challenging because we're close to them. It's the people that we love the most, and annoy us the most sometimes, right? And it's that agree to disagree. Thank you for sharing, and I'm going to keep going in this direction. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll never forget years ago. Actually, when I was in college, I was a senior, and I was a psychology major, and I freaked out that I wouldn't be able to get a job with a degree in psychology. So I decided that I would change my major again as a senior to advertising, because it used psychology, but there was this artsy thing to it, right? All these, and I was toddling my way into the college to change my major, and I thought, oh, maybe I should call my parents, let them know, since they were footing the bill. Hi, I'm going to change my major. They're like, what? I'm like, but I can't get a job. And I'm like, bah. You know, it's hilarious. And my father's famous last words, well, you do what you think is best. Okay, bye-bye now. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, you know, I guess he was wise enough to know that I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, and he might not like it, but that's kind of how it's going to go. So, yeah, being able to stand up to those who are closest to you and go, I love you. Thank you for sharing, and going over here, right? Mm-hmm. So,
and just to add, you know, this is what the Lean In Circle is basically about, you know, getting the support. And I've found leaving the country, you know, being in my environment, I've met so many expats from all over the world, and a lot from North America. And I've been able to find a lot of like-minded people who are very educated, well-traveled, you know, have so much experience in life, and we shared a lot of similar values. And I'm like, this is amazing. But the circle of people that I have known in my life back in California, they're just stuck one way, you know, of looking at things. And I'm just so happy that I broke that mold and I was able to experience something different in life. And I feel like, to me, the Lean In Circle that we're trying to establish is just that, supporting one another, you know, where you can't, or some people might not have that in their personal life, and encouraging one another to grow. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So, yes. Mm-hmm.
Beautifully said, Susan. I appreciate that. Nida, how about you?
Okay. So here's how I rated myself on the 4 categories. So I'm going to give you guys the numbers for self, work, and family.
Okay.
On myself, I rated mostly 6 and 7 on reliability, congruent, openness, and acceptance. Mm-hmm. And so I'll just give you guys the numbers now, but then I'll explain later. On the work, because I'm doing just such a small part of my work, you know, just 20% of my time, I'm pretty much 6 and 7 as well. And then on the family, on the reliability, I said 6, but on the congruence, openness, and acceptance, I marked them all 5. So on the self, why I rated myself 6 and 7, going directly to the openness. I'm turning 60 in a couple of months or a few months. So I'm much older than all of you. So my priorities in life and where I am in the stage in my life, in my career, and all the things that's happening in my life, I'm pretty reliable. I'm pretty open. I'm congruent to myself and to everybody else. And I accept everybody for who they are. I don't really put any judgment. I think I used to be when I was much younger. It's like, oh, that person is no good. I'm not going to talk to that person. Or, you just have all these blinders, when you meet people. And now I'm just like totally, life is what it is. Life is what you make it. If if you're a grumpy person or a judging person, all that negative energy is going to come back and reflect back to you. So you can't be that way. I've learned that years ago. My family, we're dispersed. My son lives in London. My whole family is in Hawaii. I'm in California. I lived in Singapore for a couple of years. I've been all over the world, and everyone the people that I love and my friends, they just have no idea. And like what Susan was just talking earlier, everybody has this, why you got to go to 10 different parts of the world? It's like, why can't you just stay in one place? And you just have to accept them for who they are. I have friends in Hawaii who has never left the island. I lived in Maui and grew up there. And when I go back, it's like, I don't expect to talk to them about all the things that I've done in life. I just expect to just listen and, hi, Michele, I haven't seen you for 10 years. How wonderful. Tell me what's going on in your life. So I think it was, not Peter Drucker's, but one of the Maxwell. It's like if you seek to listen to somebody else's issues and interests, and just being there, just be a listener, they will just appreciate you more for who you are. And I think that's just, a lot of people are so tense about themselves, like, oh, I got to tell everybody else what I do, this, that, the other. And it's not about that. It's like really listening. They say, who was it? Einstein or somebody said, I read some of these quotes, that one of the best gifts that you can give to somebody is to listen. Just listening. That's a really easy thing to say, right? But difficult to do, because if you're listening and you're thinking about what you're going to say to that person, you're really not listening. You're just all about yourself. So when I meet people, when I talk to people, whenever, I just really try to put that into perspective. So both at work and my family, whatever it is that's going on in their life, you just have to embrace all the differences of what's going on in them, or the people that you're trying to connect with. And I try to have a meeting or just a social lunch with people that have mentored me, or have helped me in my career, or just people that I've met in all the different types of work that I've done in my life, just to connect with them. Even though this was 20 years ago, 15 years ago, to just have a coffee and just listening. It's just, you learn so much from everybody else. And I just enjoy that. So that's kind of why reliability is like, if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it. Otherwise, I'll just feel bad about myself. Right. So that's kind of like, if you're not delivering on your, not just delivering to you, but if you're not delivering to yourself, then you can't deliver for anybody else. Congruent. If you're not congruent with yourself first, everything comes within you. If you can't be congruent, if you just do one thing but say something else, or inside your head you're going through a whole bunch of opposite of what you think you're gonna do, then yes, exactly. Then it's like, it's going to reflect on you, your work, your family. And if you're not open to any of the, you know, if you're not open, if you're always holding back to, and I'm not saying, you know, open and just air all your dirty laundry. I'm saying be sensitive, like what Susan was saying. You know, you need to be sensitive. And what you said, Michele, you know, be sensitive to what the other person is thinking, because your way of thinking, your way of processing the information, your way of sharing anything that you want to give. Sometimes I think we want to give, or we want to give so much advice to the world or to people to this, and doesn't mean that they want it. You know, it doesn't mean that just because we think it's good doesn't mean they think it's good. Doesn't mean that it's going to work for them too.
And
so,
that's a great point, Nida, because in the listening of others, you can actually listen for their core values, their things that are
yes,
for them.
Yes.
And then speak to that, which then creates a deeper level of connection. A greater leaning in.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Because
of creating that trust, right?
Yes.
And that's ultimately what we all want and crave. We want to be seen, heard, and valued for the expertise that we bring. And when that happens, then trust levels go up, then connection goes up, and then it creates that own wonderful ripple effect. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now, what were you going to say, Susan?
I totally understand and get what you ladies are trying to say. I've been with my husband for 20 years now, and during the time when we were dating, and, you know, women, we tend to just, you know, complain and just unload, you know, what's going on, what's bothering us and everything. And I realized at the time he was my boyfriend, he was trying to fix my problems. And at the end, and I'm like, I was really annoyed with it, okay? Not that I didn't want to hear it, because I knew I was competent enough to deal with my own issues and, you know, figure out how to handle it. And so you know, after so many times that it happened, I just finally told him, I said, thank you for, you know, being there and trying to solve my problems. But ultimately, I just need you to pay attention to me and listen. And that's it. I am very capable and competent of handling my own issues. And then he goes, really? I said, yes, just listen. That's all I want.
Yes. Now, there's a great book, if you haven't read it, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by Dr. John Gray. And it really does a great job of articulating that. Because, women are nurturers and men are fixers. That's just how we're hardwired, right? So you have to come to the conversation with the caveat, honey, I just need you to listen for just a few minutes. Just smile and nod. And be with me. Okay. If you can give them that, then they can, okay, this is how I need to listen, not like I need to listen and fix, right? Which is a very different frame. So, well, wonderful, ladies. I'm going to be mindful of our time, and I know you all have busy days ahead of you. So thank you very, very much for being here. I'll get the recording up in the various spots, along with the worksheet from today, so you can continue. There's actually a lot more to it. Lean-in circles, when they're done in person, they're usually like 3 hours long. So we only tend to get the tip of the iceberg with these online calls, but we get to talk to people all over the world, so that's super cool. So it's a trade-off in a good way. So,
well, thank you so much. It's so nice meeting you all.
Yes.
I look forward to our future discussions.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, you ladies have a blessed day. Again, our next call is August 18th. Same bat time, third Friday of the month. And if there's a particular topic that you want to talk about or bring to the group, please just let me know. Shoot me an email. You know how to find me. All right?
Perfect. Thank you, Michele. Thanks,
all right.
Susan. Have a great weekend.
Great
nice meeting you all. Okay. Bye.
Bye.